Hello everyone, my name is Neeraj and welcome to jQuery introduction video. First, let's see why you should be using jQuery. If you want to make an AJAX request, then you need to write something like this in JavaScript. Here I'm using the basic JavaScript code. I'm not using jQuery. So this code is creating a new XML HTTP request object, and it will work fine in, say, Firefox and Chrome. However, this code will not work in Internet Explorer. That's because IE has a different API. In IE, you need to write something like this. Well, as you can see, the code is a bit of mess, and every single time if we need to write an AJAX request, if we have to take care of all these conditions, then the code will become messy very soon. The fact that IE has a different API for AJAX is just one of the examples. Other cases are like the way event bubbles in IE is entirely different. If we leave IE aside, then things are not 100% okay in the world of Safari and Firefox too. They have their own minor little quirks here and there. And if I'm writing a JavaScript code, then it's really hard for me to be on top of all these things. That's why jQuery is such a wonderful tool. You don't need to worry about these things because some really smart guys are working in jQuery team and they take care of it. Now let's see how to download the jQuery file. First, go to jQuery.com and click on download. In this HTML page, you will see a link to ajax.googleapis.com. You want to use this link in your script tag so that jQuery is loaded from this Google server. You might be wondering, why should you load jQuery from Google server? Well, there are some advantages, and the biggest of them being that this is one less file you need to worry about. Google will take care of it, so that's good. The second thing is that Google does some optimization so that it is possible that in your browser the jQuery file might load faster. And also, Google being Google tries its best that its server is always up and running. One thing you will notice that in this link, it's ending with .min.js. So why it is not jQuery.js? Why it is jQuery.min.js? So let's look at this jQuery.min.js. Well, min stands for minified. So if you look at this document, it has some JavaScript code which is very dense. There is no white space and it's hard to read. You can open another tab, give it the same URL, but remove the min. And that's what I did here in this tab. Here I can see the full JavaScript code, I can read it, and I can see that it's meant for human beings to read. The thing is that when the browser is trying to load the JavaScript file, the heavier, the more number of bytes are in the JavaScript file, the longer it takes, first of all, to come down the wire, and it takes longer for the browser to load the file. So one way to reduce the number of bytes is to remove all the white spaces, remove all the comments, and to go even a step further, they rename the variables. Let's see an example. So here I have the standard jQuery file, and look at the very first line after the comments. Here is a function which is accepting two parameters, window and undefined. Now let's look at the same function in the minified JavaScript. And in the minified JavaScript, you can see that we have the same function, but it is accepting the two parameters as A and B. So this is what the minification of JavaScript does. Not only it removes all the white spaces, all the comments. Here is a comment at the top, but after that you will not see any comment anywhere here. You will see the least amount of white space, and all the variable names you look at, they are E, H, C, E++, F. This function is accepting parameters named A, B, C. The name of function is B and D. So what I'm trying to say is that during the minification process, all the variable names and the function names are changed so that the least amount of characters are taken. You want to use this URL, the minified JavaScript, in your page so that the page loads faster. In all my jQuery based videos, I would be using this site called jsfiddlenet. Now, what is jsfiddle.net? jsfiddle.net is a web-based tool where you can quickly test your JavaScript code. For example, I can write my JavaScript code and I can test the same piece of JavaScript code with jQuery 1.6 or jQuery 1.5.2 or jQuery 1.4.4 or even 1.3.2 and 1.2.6. This is so wonderful if you want to test a particular case where you are upgrading the jQuery library and you are finding that this piece of code which was working in jQuery 1.4 is not working in 1.6. You can quickly write some code here and you can test it. So that's about jQuery. But there are people who are using some other library like MooTools or YUI or Prototype or even Dojo. So you can write your JavaScript code and you can just select Dojo, and now your code will run with Dojo. So I highly recommend you to check out jsfiddle.net as you practice your JavaScript code. Here I will go back to jQuery 1.6, and I have a JavaScript code which is trying to highlight the TR elements of a table. This example has been taken from the next video, which is about jQuery selectors. I will go ahead and hit run here, and I can see that the background of the table has become yellow. In all my videos, I would be showing a lot of code using jsfiddle.net. All of these codes, they will have a unique URL. If you want to play with those examples, or if you want to try your own combinations, I would recommend you to go to bigbinary.com/downloads. And here you will see a link to download the practice materials. And those practice materials look something like this. You have the title of the practice material, and then you have the HTML code. You will write your JavaScript in application.js, and once you execute, you will see something like this. At the bottom of the page, you will see all the jsfiddle.net links that I used in that presentation. That's the end of this screencast. If you have any feedback, send it to me. Thank you.